Hello, have a good night. Uh, for my homework one, for the algorithm design and analysis, uh, here's my first question from ChatGPT. It's a basically sorting problem, and here's my codes. I wrote a function in max value finder and taken an input as values. It's in here, the type of list in here, and if the length of this list equal to 0, I mean if the list is empty, it's gonna print out there's not any value, and if there's only one value in this list, it's gonna return that value. If the list length of the bigger than 2, I'm creating a value as divide values. It is half of the length of the values, and I'm creating another two lists as left values and right values to divide the whole list. And here's the recursive part for my code. I'm trying to find the max left value and max right value. To find the max left and max right, it's using the max value finder. Is after find the max left and max right. Actually, to better explanation, let me write in here. Left values is 0 to midpoint, and right values is midpoint to end. End of the list. After find max left and max right, I created another function to compare this max left and max right. It's just basically comparing both of them. Actually, I wrote the time complexity for this all codes as a comment line in here, but let me explain it. It is constant C1, there's only one position, and there's constant 2, and in here it will take O(n) time, and here's the O1 because it's only compare only of the two values. In here, always gonna divide the length of the values by 2, and to run it, sorry, let me clear and run only this cell. Maximum value is 87, and it looks true. But if we have another value like 100, and big, it's working correctly. And in here, I wish to debug my codes, and ChatGPT warned me about I do not have any semantic codes for the length value is equal to 1. Actually, there's probably I can make it more faster. Sorry. Then I just ask to redebug, and it gives me work correctly. Then I found the running time as a function of this algorithm, and it gives me your right track analyzing the time complexity of your algorithm, and explained me all of them again. And I asked the second question as be a medium level practice question, and it gives me in here, but actually I misunderstand the question. I try to solve in here, but I solved wrong because I understand it wrong. And I tried to debug it, and then it gave me to whole solution, and I just want to make it another question, and it is in here. I have to find the sort. I have a sorted list and I have a target, and I have to find the position of target inside of this array. I wrote my codes in here. It's a basically sub array, and in this if statement returns -1 if the array is empty, and first of all I'm dividing to mid, start and end points, and I am taking the mid value. The mid in here is basically index of this array. Actually, not the index of middle index of this array, and mid value equal to middle value of this list. And if my mid value equal to target, it's gonna return mid. It means there is a 7. There's 7 and target is 10. But if we have 8 and let's let it, the 8 will be middle value of my array, and it's just gonna return to this one. As we can run, yeah, that's correct. 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, and here, and the others. Otherwise, mid value is bigger than smaller than target if as we did before here, or mid value is smaller than our target. My mid value is 8 and target is 10. It's gonna return search subarray as in here, a mid +1 and end. So it means basically it's gonna take in here not 8. I'm writing as a value in here. Okay, let me not put. Gonna take put index and so the 0 to 3 will be ignored from this array. It's gonna reduce it to half of it. Also, we have the same application, basically same application in a statement. It will work on the if the target is smaller than mid value, it's gonna search subarray to 0 and 3 indexes. Now 4 to 7 will be ignored. And actually I wrote the all-time complexity of this code in here. But let me explain this. Basically, it's gonna take O1 complexity, and it will divide it O1 for the finding any point. So all these codes will be ON time. This is O1. This is O1 because there is only one position. It's gonna divide, and this part gonna take two times and divided 2. For 1 O n divided 2 for here, and the other O n divided 2 is for here. I ask the code in here, and it says there's a few issues in my code, and actually it and I made changes after my code. Actually, there's not a code for here in my what did I didn't write for the first of them. Yeah, I just used to try midpoint in here, and I don't have anything like this one. It only changed it is here, and just try to redebug it and improve it being correct, and it gives me that code, and it is same as with the same. Then I say that one. Your given code is same as I give to you. Then I ask to algorithm running time as ON, and it gives me O1 for the values. I forgot to say it actually. Sorry for it. And mid value is O1 constant type. Set subarray is O log n because it is recursive. It's gonna always gonna down to the half of them always. Actually, I said gonna divide by the n. It's gonna go like this one, and I ask some much explanation about it. Actually, I forgot. Sorry. Actually, I said wrong in here in my second action. I say to ON, but it must be O log n because it is recursive and my length of the array will be reduced to half of it. Then it's O log n and start and mid value time complexity is O1. It means here, here, and here is equal to O1 time complexity. Then recursive part in here, basically, it is equal to O log n. O log n. Sorry, not O log n. It's only equal to O log n. Then my old running time function is O log n. And for my last question in here, there's an unsorted list for me, and I have to find the let's k equal to 4, and what is the smallest fault element in this index? Actually, it is trying to finding like this one. Actually, I forgot to run this one, sorry. Yeah, it is 4, and yeah, 10 here, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's true. If you write here as 12, 5 as we expected. In here, actually, we are trying to find like this one sorted. No, I have to run like this one first of all. And sorted array here. Yeah. K equals 4, which, as we said, it's starting with the 1, not starting with the zeros. It's not the index. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have to find 7. We want to find 7, and it's true. So we ask the fourth smallest value and we find it's basically sorting and finding index question. And here, first of all, I'm checking for the k is bigger than 0 and length of the array is bigger or equal to k value. Then I'm finding the index to actually, yeah, I'm gonna explain this one a little bit. Actually, in here, index is integer index number for the half of the len. Actually, it given the it gives to index number of the half of the list. Actually, in the first of all, I just write it like index equal len array like 2. First of all, I just write it like this one, and ChatGPT told me must be integer division to be sure index is this integer. Then I use it like this one. Then I'm finding the pivot number. It is actually it is finding value of the half, not half, actually the value of the middle of the list. And I have 3 more lists in here as representing the half of the less, half of the, I'm sorry, less than the pivot, equal to pivot and greater than the pivot. It means it taken to index number as there's 7 and taking the values in here. Actually, dividing this part works further. Works for the divide the list to 3 lists as less, equal, and greater. And if we k than less, it means, let's imagine how I can explain it. Okay, if for length of the last, it means our pivot number is 9, and let's gonna take the 7, 1, 3, and this is our last part. As yeah, okay, let's pivot is 4. What will be? We have, let me check, is 7, 4, yeah, 9, or pivot will equal to 9 to 9, and it will take the values less than the 9. It means 3, 1, 5, and 7, and the equal gonna take to 9, and you're gonna take the other values. Let's assume k is like 3. It's gonna give, oh, the last has the 4 values. So I can return the find smallest and less k. Then I can find this value in here and returning to the less k and getting the output. And if it is fraction, if we asked for 9, it's gonna take also this one. I mean, if we didn't say to, if we say to 5, if we want 5, it will give this output. Otherwise, if you find much more than the pivot number of us, like if we ask 14, or if we ask for 12, actually it's 12. I mean, in the mean is the sorted array 12. If we ask 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, if we ask 7, I mean, I just gives reference to 12 and I just give the what is taken as a reference. If then it's taken the output, and to explain in the time complexity, this part is taken O1 and this is O1, and in here, okay, let me read it from here, because index pivot takes O1 time, and I mean pivot index, it's gonna, and here gonna take O1 times. For recursive path in the code, which is path in the code takes O length time, in here taking O(n) time, and it taken the all values. We have to put all values in these 3 of them, and it's gonna equal to O(n) time, and the recursive path will equal to log n time. Then it's becoming O(n) times O log n. Then our time complexity is, if we ignore the O1s and constants, n log n. And I ask to ChatGPT, and here it gives me a little bit mistakes, as I explained to you before. And yeah, okay, then I sent them to, can you find the actually I found running time algorithm like this, and can you explain me? And here is explained me. Index pivot takes O(n) time, less equivalent greater taken O(n) time. Less equal, as I said, it's taken O(n) time, and recursive part of the code most crucial part for analyzing the time complexity in the worst case scenario, and it has the O log n time. In here taken O log n time. And in the summary, the time complexity is O(n) log n for the worst case scenario. Thanks for the listening. Have a good day.